Have you ever been in a situation where someone has asked you for your opinion on a specific issue, and you found yourself giving this long, meandering answer that seemed to take forever to get to the point? In fact, as you're speaking, you're starting to perhaps lose the actual objective that you're trying to get to. You also start to notice that the people that you are addressing seem to be losing their patience. And this is a common challenge for so many professionals, especially when they're addressing leadership. Leaders who are pressed for time, they want your opinion, they want you to get to the point very, very quickly. And the reason why so many professionals struggle with articulating their position is they don't necessarily have a framework. And so as they're speaking, they're slowly getting to the point. Ultimately, they generally get to the point, but what often happens is that by the time they get to the point, the leader or the person who asked them has lost their patience. They may have already checked out, because the more words you use, the more you speak, the more unnecessary noise you provide to the answer, the more cognitive effort the other person has to put into figuring it all out. And if it's too much effort, they're going to check out. So you need a structure. And the structure is following. What's your position? What's your rationale? What's your guidance for the next step? What is your position? What is your rationale? What is your guidance for the next step? That's a very simple framework. When you state your position right off the bat, it gives the listener automatically a context of where you're going to come from, where this is coming from. It's very, very clear. The rationale then supports it. Okay, why you're recommending this course of action, or why you have this opinion. And then the next steps is just exactly what your suggestion is moving forward. So imagine that a senior leader asks you, okay, you know what, a lot of our leaders, our managers in our organization are struggling with finding time to do their actual work, because they spend the vast majority of the day, at least the complaints are coming in, they spend the vast majority of their day dealing with people issues, perhaps discontent employees coming up with different problems, and employees coming and kind of interrupting their flow with personal or workplace issues. How do you advise that we deal with that? And then you on the other side might respond by saying something like this. My recommendation is that we put our managers into communications training courses. The reason being is that 40% of that time being spent in dealing with all these issues, these personnel issues, can be reduced if we bring in somebody to teach them how to be much more effective in their communication. So my recommendation is that we bring in a trainer and then have them build a curriculum that helps us train our leaders to be more effective communicators, so we reduce the time spent, dealing with these communication-based people challenges. Just an example, it can be anything that someone asks you, but you follow that simple framework of what is your position, what is your rationale, and then what is your advice for your next steps. And you'll find that your supervisors and your managers, the people that you're communicating to, will be grateful for the clarity of structure with which you present information and responses. Good luck.